YSK that abruptly stopping your alcohol intake can be lethal. Why YSK? If you have been drinking a significant amount for a long time, then it is incredibly important you get medical advice before cutting out alcohol completely. Once you are physically dependent, then stopping abruptly can cause delirium tremens or seizures, which can be fatal. Usually you will either need to work out a tapering plan or be prescribed benzodiazepines. If required, you may also be kept as an inpatient while going through detox. If you are currently trying to cut out alcohol or reduce your intake, then I applaud you and do not want to scare you, but ensure you do it safely. Symptoms to look out for include tremors, often called the shakes, sweating, high pulse rate, nausea and vomiting. You may also become delusional or have hallucinations. Secondary YSK benzodiazepines should also be used with caution, as they can also be fatal if stopped abruptly. I originally posted this a year or so ago, but following the death of a friend I felt it was worth getting more people aware. Sources confirming. Yeah, when I was withdrawing from alcohol, the first thing they did at the hospital is give me a 4-vitamin drip. Then 10 milligrams Valium 3x a day. That was for about a week, and then they lowered the dosage of the Valium. Now I'm alcohol free. Because they helped save my life, I stopped drinking. Just celebrated 4 years clean at 49 years old. 20 years of drinking, it's never too late, heart. From what I remember in rehab, it is the only drug aside from benzos where the withdrawals themselves can kill you. Opiate withdrawal and whatnot will make you want to die, feel like death, but the withdrawals themselves won't kill you. When my stepmother was withdrawing, she went into withdrawal-induced psychosis. She started hallucinating that demons were trying to kill her. When my dad had her rushed to the hospital, she attacked the nurses because she thought they were demons, and they had to put her into a medically induced coma to weather the worst of it. To quote Archer, if I stopped drinking altogether, I'm pretty sure the cumulative hangover would kill me. ICU nurse here. This is no joke, we see alcohol withdrawal all the time. It will make you act ways you never would, do things you normally wouldn't, and can absolutely kill you. If you're considering stopping and withdrawals are a potential concern for you, then get help and do it safely. When I was in treatment, we had to take something called OATS. That stands for Oral Alcohol Treatment Supplement. Basically electrolytes and vitamins added to tang with lots of sugar. Some of the inmates said they saw someone go through the real DTs and swore to never drink again. Interesting that they use benzodiazepines, because that's the only other drug class that can also kill you by stopping abruptly. Eli 10. Chronic heavy alcohol use reprograms your brain chemical balance GABA downer and glutamate upper to have less GABA and more glutamate receptors. If you suddenly stop alcohol intake, now you have lots of glutamate receptors and fewer GABA, and you start withdrawing sweats, tremors, agitation, seizures up to delirium tremens and possible death. Medications such as benzos work on GABA receptors to get you through this hyperexcitatory state, which lasts up to 7-10 days after the last drink. Source: Pharmacist Today. Hospital with many alcohol withdrawal PTS. What is considered a significant amount? The reason I ask is that I seem to have a drink like every day. Not blackout drunk every day. Just like a beer today or a rum and coke the next. Very rarely will I ever have more than one drink, but it does seem to be every day. My office is kind of nuts. Literally every single one of us has a bottle of whiskey or liquor on our desks. I work in a county jail. Alcohol withdrawal is the most serious of all hard drugs. Person shrugging. Honestly, it doesn't always have to be a large amount. I've seen elderly that have 2, maybe 3 drinks, every single evening for years. They come into the hospital for something. The next thing you know, they're completely psychotic, sweating, terrified, hallucinating, seizing, and no one realizes why. Granny Grandad isn't thought of as an alcoholic. It's truly a medical emergency. My cousin tried to quit cold turkey and died in his sleep. 27. I lost my brother-in-law this way. Abruptly cut off drinking because he thought he had strep. Cardiac arrest in his sleep. Dead at 40. His mother found him the next morning. She was never the same and died several years later from cirrhosis. It was an alcoholic family. When I was detoxing from drinking vodka in excess and taking Xanax, my blood pressure was scary high. Rushed to the ER from rehab, got 4 Valium. Left rehab on the Valium, finally quit 4 years later last year. Life's good now though. It kinda makes me mad that jails don't give a fuck about your alcohol problems. They will leave you in a cell with the lights on full, no reading, no medication of any kind, let you convulse for several days with no sleep and losing your mind. Maybe they will have a nurse see you in 24-48 hours. If you try to tell them anything, they don't care. If you get angry or loud to get attention, they'll beat you and strap you to a board or a chair and stick you in a closet. Out of curiosity, how high of an intake would I need to worry about? One of my co-workers lost his wife this past year due to seizures from cold turkey quitting. I'm only 24, but Jesus, did that make me realize I need to try my darndest to not let familial alcoholism get into my life. Stay clean guys, everything in moderation. Phenomenal post. Never be afraid to talk to a doctor or at least Google it before going through a withdrawal. Whenever quitting any drugs or major lifestyle changes, learn what you're getting yourself into. Even carb withdrawals can be harsh, and major diet changes should be well understood in general before getting started. Good luck to all self-improvers out there. Wish more people knew this. Alcohol and benzodiazepines are the 2 cold turkey killers. I'm 3.5 years sober from a horrific fentanyl and meth addiction, and I felt like dying, but at least I had the peace of knowing I would not. When I was in treatment, it was myself and the rest were alcoholics. Never thought anybody would envy a dope addict in withdrawal, but alcohol is literally liquid death. Bill stopped cold turkey, had a seizure, ain't been right since and went back to drinking. I stopped cold turkey after drinking for 45 years. I was drinking a quart of vodka a day. I probably should have gotten help. It was a rough 4 days, but I've been sober for 16 years. My girlfriend was hospitalized many times before going sober. I'm at least thankful she was conscious of this fact and would seek attention. Might have even saved her life. Pardon my ignorance, but I'm actually trying to stop drinking myself and was wondering if this applies to beer as well. I drink about 5-7 Hurricanes, which is about 8. I kinda always thought it was just liquor that mostly did the withdrawal symptoms, but is that not accurate? 6 years sober. If you feel like you might want to talk to someone about stuff, head over to our Stop Drinking. It was unpleasant quitting, but it was worse continuing. This is one of the reasons that out of all of the intoxicating substances to legalize, I can't wrap my head around why the government, at least in the US, chose alcohol so early in history. I worked on an inpatient psychiatric unit for almost 5 years, and alcohol addiction was one of the most severely damaging and heartbreaking issues to witness. It will not only get you desperately addicted, but it will kill your brain and liver until you are dying. Anyone struggling with alcoholism, please reach out before it is too late. I have seen beautiful people destroyed by this disease. You are worth all of the resources out there, heart. I was inpatient for 7 days, 0.28 back 8 hours after initial intake. It was a rough one. Apparently depression can breathe underwater. Vital information for Bart Chrysler. Correct. Only thing about getting sober I wished I changed was tapering instead of going cold turkey. Would have easily taken 2 more days of drunken me to not have as bad withdrawals. I'm so sorry about the death of your friend. Thank you so much for getting this information out into the world today. Thank you for posting this. Many people try and white knuckle it. Grateful to be sober today. I had to go through this several times with my ex, sadly. I'm now 14 months sober and I hope she was able to beat it finally.